All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, quick one here today, just to let you guys know that day one of Trader Rehab has been successful. Now, I've always preached in the past that no matter what it takes, whatever it takes for mission success. And so I've sized down drastically 1,000 shares, 1,500 max, and the goal today, really and truly, was to not lose money, and aim for a small green day. Now, whilst I was looking forward to a bit of a bigger day in terms of like being up about, let's say, two, three, 400, uh, you know, there was a lot of good things that came from the day. We're gonna also talk a little bit about one of the mistakes that I made, which did result into a bit of a loss, a bigger loss. But other than that, I really like the trajectory. You really want to be on this path where the red days are either getting smaller and or are turning green. Those two things. You don't want the red days to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you snowball. So, so far so good. We've been making good progress here, and this is definitely my best day in the last couple of days. So I'm definitely proud of that. And it's a huge difference. It's a victory, and it's a step in the right direction. So if we come back here to May and I pull over the calendar, you guys will be able to see the losses that we took over the last 2 days, especially Monday. And I can import for Tuesday, which I didn't. But yeah, Friday down 2,300. The bulk of this essentially one trade. A green to red day, a red to green to red to green to red day, which wasn't good. And then Monday just getting absolutely obliterated, down 3,000. So this is definitely a step in the right direction. Tuesday down 600. So I'm feeling good. Looking at things with a small size, this is just a testament to what trading is. There's a very, very small difference between being green and being red. And when, you're coming late to some stocks, you're missing some front side opportunities, or even if you're present and you don't capitalize, and, the backside seems to be all that's left, you can find yourself in a tricky situation, right? So when we switch over to REBN, which is one of the main stocks today, this one started off decent pre-market move, by the way, which is worth mentioning. Decent pre-market move, going from about 180 up to highs. Think or swim. I got to check that message earlier. Up to highs at 330, which is pretty impressive. Now coming into the open, we're consolidating sideways. We start to push the higher side of this level here around 295. And into the open, I expected there to be an opportunity, whether right away or a couple minutes in. Sometimes you'll need a little bit of consolidation. But down here, I was not looking to be aggressive. And ultimately, this is where I'm going to become, a little on the defensive, right? I'm going to be a little on my heels. Now, lows around 288. The stock curls up over the level of 3, and it was so aggressive. I was very interested in being back in over $3, anywhere between 315 area, let's say. But we pushed through the level. We got up to about 20, 22, 24. It pulled back to 11 here, but the pullback was so quick. In fact, we can really show this. We can show this move here. Looking back at it, I really think the only way I could have been in is if I was aggressively watching, which I was not. I was also looking at other stocks, which is sometimes part of the difficulty of capitalizing. And it's also why, I mentioned a couple of times, I cannot continue to get unlucky, which I do feel some of this is when it just comes to just the randomness of the timing, right? Whether you show up to a stock a little late because you're watching another stock, etc., etc. So we took one trade in the first green candle, and we were just waiting patiently. But looking away and then looking back, let's see. On my E-Trade at this time, on my E-Trade Pro down below on the other screen, I was checking out other stocks on the watch list, something that I had to scan, something like that. So, it doesn't take long, right? I mean, from 93 up to 302, and it starts to move. There's eight, it pushes up very quickly. So right here, I'm back. Right here is where I'm back. It's at 13. Sometimes they move fast, and I think it's going to get to about 22, 24 right here before pull back to 11 on the bids. I think the lowest level we came to at the bids right here was 11. There's 27, and you see how quickly it's fluctuating. So after, okay, we were at 9, and this is how I'm perceiving things. Okay, we were at 93, kind of just there. The 1 minute candle to make the new highs at 14. I kind of look back up, we're at 14. Then we proceed to get to 25, 26 area. What is the pullback going to look like? And again, there's about 11. I think right there is my only chance that I could have been in, but it was a quick bounce back to 20. I was on my heels here, and once we get back to 25, it's just going to rip up to 70. There's 30, 40, 50, or maybe not 70, but 50. Maybe, yeah, okay, 60. Okay, there we go, 70. Is this a move that I can capture? Of course it is. But again, it's one of these things, and this is how these last couple of days have been. I mean, even with expectations, the only reason I thought that there might have been a strong move was because of the last 3 days. We saw strong opportunities, like 50-cent moves. But even still, from going from 93 to 13, then to 26, break of 25. I'm not expecting a move all the way to 70. I'm thinking maybe 35, 40 at most, at best. And so I'm not as aggressive, right? Even then, I'm not in because of not seeing how the move transpired. Trying to be in, needing a good entry. Can we see a good pullback? Again, we kind of had 11, 10. Just didn't get the opportunity to be in. So I missed the move. And this was probably the best move on this stock and the best move of the day. And, this is what trading is. It's why they say it's a very fine, tightrope walk. Fine line. I capture this move here going up. I'm already looking at a sweet day. Just like that. Very simply. So, and, in the context of me using size, on a normal day where I'm not like reduced size, anything like that, and I'm, capturing break of 3,000 share on a stock like this, 3,000 shares, I get the move up to 13, 15. Okay, there's 350, 400. I'm a little bit more in sync. I captured if I am to capture the dip there around 12, 11, 10, 9, you know, if the rest is history. More than likely, I'm more aggressive to just buy the high at 30. That results into a push to 50 initially, and then all the way to 77. Just like that, up 2K to start the day. That's what it is. That's what it always was. So, some people are saying in the Discord and around the community, like, hey, Relentless, like, what's going on? Like, this is what's going on. This exactly is what's going on. We're still seeing great opportunities. Sometimes sometimes you're just a little unlucky. I mean, I look at this opportunity. It is a little quick. I will say it is a little quick how the stocks are moving. Um, Sometimes we'll kind of linger. Like, there'll be a different type of momentum where we might have lingered between, let's say, 07 and 14 for an extra 10 seconds. And that was my chance to get in, and I got in and caught the move going up, right? So because it's such a quick move, it's a little easier to miss the opportunity. And then what makes this very tricky, I love to buy the previous high of day. Previous high of day is at 30. Let's say we go from 25 area to 40, 45. Once we pull back and we start to hold the previous resistance, I'm in. This went to 70. There's no, if this pulls back to 30 at that point, it's just getting weak. So when the moves are this quick and this aggressive, it's either you're in or you're not. Like there's not a lot of middle ground. and I've kind of been missing a lot of moves. There's been a few mistakes, as I mentioned. There was a mistake where we had a breakout. Where's this breakout? Uh, I think it was here. And I read this beautifully. I mean, absolutely lovely trades. Was this it? Was this it? Was it this area or somewhere else? Okay, it might have been here. Okay, break. I'm trying to. I think I'm watching for break of 80 because we've seen so much resistance there on this downtrend. So I'm throwing out shares to give it a chance to go through the level. And when it does, it is aggressive. So I start watching, take my couple cents. I'm back in as we're lingering and holding around the level, and it's looking good. But you see the volatility here too, right? Even this first trade, if we're to come back here quickly, I'm in scratch trade. We didn't quite go. There's a few sellers, but we're lingering here. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. Notice the amount of sellers that are there are not are gone, right? That was, the bigger seller, let's say, is gone. Um, we jumped to 89. We jumped to 94. I'm in at 76. You know, can I? And this is where I say also another thing that's been kind of getting me. I like to take profits early, right? It's like a combination of things that's kind of like negatively affecting me. Like right here, I'm taking this because ultimately I think this is a good trade. From 78 area up to 90, 12, 13, 14 cents is a good move. And it's like if I was back in at 30 at that original breakout, more than likely I would have sold at 45.50 because it was already such a good move. But these last 3 days, the stocks have not only been going up just 15, 20, 30 cents, but 50, 60, 70 cents and giving much more aggressive moves than you would expect. Now here I'm getting back in because we didn't flush down through this level of 80, so I'm giving it another chance. And it does the same thing where it's like sporadically jumping up, but you can see we're back down a bit. So this can make it a little tricky sometimes when trying to sell into the higher push if it's not giving that bigger move instantly. So, I'm giving it a couple seconds here. I'm in at 78. I take it off at 90, and I'm telling myself if we can show some, faster buying and bigger buyers coming in around 90, I can get back in. Slightly higher entry, but, taking the profits. All right, right here. Can we push through $4? We get up to the level. There's 430 at the halt level. And then I look to take quick gains, which was good. Now here's a bit of a small pullback. And we're coming down into the $4 area, which was just a little bit of resistance. And so I'm gonna try it down here. And this was a close area because you see even how fast it bounces. I'm trying to get that fill down at 410 area, and it's fluctuating like crazy. And right here I'm watching, and this is we had 8, we bounced up to 17. We had 6, we bounced up to 17. So right here I'm feeling good. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep my stop as tight as I can at 99, and I'm gonna watch for the bounce right back to 25, 35, and maybe if it's really strong, right into the halt level at 40. And in the process of me trying to sell here at 401 and 99 for my stop, the thing is down at 76. And all my hard work, capturing a nice move up, is back to the depths. Now, here's the thing I could have done differently in terms of an adjustment, right? The move here was so, like the move up was so high, I think that I could have avoided the dip. In terms of knowing it might have been a false breakout. And here's why. The breakout was just, from 40. Oh, well, what am I trying to say here? From 95 to 40 is pretty high. And the halt level seemed like it was at 30 for a second. Ideally, we don't want to dip back down to the level where we came from. And I think that's kind of what's going to get me here. In like 1 second, we're already back at 4. And that was just the area we were trying to break out. Now, if it goes to 40 and we hold up 20, it's a little bit better. in my experience here over the years. So I think that that was a bit of a mistake. As mentioned, you know, this was an area. So even with the small size I'm using, this was an area where if things played out a little differently, we're already up a nice 200 is low really, but we're up anywhere from 300 to 600 relative to the size I'm using. All right, whatever, churn, even if I churned a little bit here, but my goal is really, hey, get green on the front side, aggression going up, and avoid the extended consolidation. So I think after this, right here, I would have been done. After this kind of came back down. But anyhow, I think it's still fair, even if I do watch. I mean, the 5-minute setup is still in play. But to be honest, you know, I should have really and truly already been green, like anywhere from 3 to 600 here. Can we maintain? I sights down. Can we maintain? Can we maintain? Okay, we do. Right here, you know, we try to add a little bit more, and then that's the day, rather than giving back on this candlestick, right? So it could have been a nice 1K day, even with the size I'm using, right? But the fine line. So, but I think ultimately a successful day of trader rehab. The main goal is to stop the bleeding and slowly get back on track, or quickly get back on track, whichever one comes first. But yeah, I like where we are right now. And I like my odds anytime I'm in control mentally. And right now I'm in complete control. You know, there is no, you know, like I'm not shook. I'm not surprised. I'm not like I went back in the days I went sideways for 6 months. I've had red days, red weeks. You know, don't worry. Mark my words, just like we've marked my words 100 times before in this situation. Relentless traders going to the moon, baby. And so is the Relentless Trading community. So is the Relentless Trading Discord. The Merciless Market students, you guys know what it is. As long as we stay disciplined, man, we will stand a great chance of being successful. So let's stay locked in. Let's stay focused. Let us stay locked in. Let us stay focused. The moment you lose the battle against yourself is the moment you lose the battle against the market. But the moment you can stay in control, keep cool, calm, you know, as you're seeing your leader here doing it right in front of you, hey, sizing down, not having ego and pride to say, I gotta make 2K a day, but willing to surrender to the market, listen to what's going on, see what's happening in front of me, make appropriate changes, and not be emotionally fueled. You're right where you need to be. So let's keep at it, and just know that the better days have yet to come. The better days are yet to come. Big green is ahead. You know, right now we're almost done transitioning to Schwab. Once we get locked in and get settled over there, I can already see the next incline. The moon is calling our names. Ladies and gentlemen, feel good about where you are as long as you're being disciplined. For those of us who might have made some mistakes, right? There's still a lot of good things to feel about. There's still a lot of good things to, you know, how am I trying to word this here? Jeez. There's a lot of good things you can take away from what you're doing, but you still have to make that adjustment mentally, right? To not fall victim to your own emotions. Because sometimes, hey, some of the best of us, even Marcelo mentioned, you know, felt like he revenge traded a little bit yesterday, or I think maybe Friday of last week. So even the best of us, it'll happen to us, right? It'll happen. So the key is to get back on track, stay focused, stay tuned to those rules, stay attached to those rules, and don't be disciplined just in trading, but in your personal life, right? Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, right? Skip, you know, don't worry about getting that cheat day. Skip the cheat day, skip that hamburger, and you know, eat clean, eat healthy, right? Do what's necessary to ensure success in the long run. Right? Don't beat yourself up if you've made a mistake, but learn from that lesson and push forward. All right. I should have been drinking some more water here to help me speak a little bit more fluently. It is hot. It is hot. But successful day. Being up $25 is not a lot of cash, but there's a huge victory here, rather than being down thousands. And this man. I tell you guys, there's no way. There's no way that I'm gonna not do what's right. There's no way that I would see myself bleeding out and not sized down. Like, I've been there, I've done that. It's not the right thing to do. So, I hope this recap does help a few people in that aspect, especially for those of you who are students. When it comes down to just not having that ego, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be 10 million plus in gains, 20 million, 100 million plus in gains. You can still get a rough patch. But the key is to always do what's right to give yourself the best chance at success. Longevity. All right. So walk away with that, if not anything, from this recap. All right. Stay safe, stay green. Bright and early again tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. Best 20 minutes. That was 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. Felt like 5. Jeez. There's no way that was 20 minutes. Wow. All right. Hit that thumbs up. I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay green.